What is going on, coaches? How are y'all doing this evening? Hey, I stumbled upon something. I stumbled upon a way that you can actually install your offense that's a lot better than what I've been doing lately, and it could help you and your players retain the information more than what you normally do. What am I talking about? I am talking about a way that you can take the air raid install method, sprinkle some June Jones on top of it that I learned from him while I was talking to him at the Score at Will Summit, and you can get an entire offense in and installed and have the players know everything like the back of their hand in 6 days. That's right. In 6 days, that's all it takes to install it. I'm going to walk you through the process. I'm going to talk about how you can do that with whatever offense that you do. And then we're going to go ahead and talk about what's going on Twitter, because good Lord, I am blowing up. But while you're here, thanks for being here. All right. And let me know where you're watching from. Brent, what is going on, man? How are you doing? Hope everything is all right. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know. And let's just get into it. So what we're doing this year is something different. I'm not going to talk about it now in this video, but what we're going to talk about is the overarching principle of the offense. We are going, as a staff, as a team, to go a little bit more run heavy. I know, sacrilegious, please forgive me, but we want to run the ball a little bit more. We have more of a running threat at quarterback, a little bit more of the wide receivers and scat backs than we've had in previous times. So we decided to sprinkle a little bit of stuff in there. And this is how we broke it down. I still have broken it down, the install, into a 3-day install, because I'm a firm believer in 3-day installs. If you can't get it in a 3-day install, you're doing something wrong. If you can't get it in, I would say 4. If you can't get it in within 4 days, your entire offense, you've got too much crap. This goes for defense as well. And you need to simplify, cut some things out and everything like that. But what we do is we take the 3-day and then we focus on it and we do a little bit different. So I'm going to get into that, but we have a lot of people here. Meme King, what's going on, buddy? Chase, how you doing, man? George, oh my God, I sent this to Dan Mullen. He is going to good. Hey, tell Dan to come on the Showcast. I would love for Dan to. Ryan, what's going on? Coach Cole, how are you doing, sir? Derek, what's up, man? Coach Zoe, how are you doing? Richard, how you doing from Arkansas? From Maryland, Meme King. George, yes. Todd, my plan is to do the same thing this year. Good. I like it. I like it. Now, Florida is going to tear it up. I hope so, man. I always like it when Florida's good. Someone needs to do something in the SEC than Alabama. So what we're going to do is we're going to go over to the computer screen. So I have it broken down into day 1, day 2, day 3. So since we're run heavy, this is how we're breaking things down. Main run right here. Main run. Actually, this is how we're actually doing it. I'm breaking down the install into if then. So this is an if run. If run. That's run number 1, then run. That's run number 2. Okay? Is everyone with me so far? So we have got 6 different runs in the playbook. Please, Todd, I know you're going to say something. Do not say anything to me. This is what we are doing right now. So we got if run, then run. I'm going to put 1 and 2. Then if run, 3, then run, 4. Because you want to have a main run, then you want to have the complementary. So if they stop this, then we run this. That's how you want every single play. So if run 5 right here. If run 6. So on day 1, we have if run 1, then run 2. Day 2 is if run 3, then run 4. Then day 3 is if run 5, then run 6. So that is how we are going to be breaking down everything for this 3-day install. Then what we get to is the quick game. So we got quick 1, quick 2, and then a quick 3. This can be anything you want. It can be stick one day. It can be corner the next. It could be fade out. It could be slants. It could be slant flat. It could be stick. You can chop it up. It can be curls, all hitches, whatever. I know that's JT's favorite thing. It can be anything like that, but that is how we are breaking it down here. Then we are getting into our drop back. So drop back 1, drop back. No, I'm not. Drop back 1, drop back 2, drop back 3. So this can be any drop back you want. It could be double post. It could be verts. It could be mesh. It could be shallow cross, Y cross, whatever it is. You have got one for each. Then you've got screens. Screen 1, screen 2, screen 3. So this is what we have going on right now. So we have day 1, we have an if run, then a run. Okay, those two play off each other. Then we have a quick game. Then we have a drop back pass. Then we have a screen. That's 5 plays. We have that for day 1, day 2, and day 3. That is what we are doing right now. So we've broken down our base core offense into 3 days, just like the air raid. All right, even though we're running a little bit more, we are going to be breaking it down in the same air raid. Now, here's the twist. When I was interviewing Coach June Jones on the Score at Will Summit, he said something. I asked him a question. I was like, hey, how do you install this? How do you install something as complicated? And I'm putting that in air quotes. How do you install something that complicated and have your kids get it? Because when I was down there at Houston with his NFL, with the XFL players, it was like the second week of practice, and they didn't have any mistakes. And they really weren't working on the virtual reality. I know AJ was with the quarterbacks, but the wide receivers and stuff, they really weren't doing that much with them. And he said he broke it down into 6 days. So he still did the 3-day install, but they kind of expanded it to 6 days, which blew my mind. So this is how it went. Okay, so we take the 3-day install. And guys, if you have any questions, go ahead and put them in chat. I will go ahead and answer them after we get over this. But he would take the 6-day install, the 2-day install, and then he would do it in 2 days each. So this would be day 1A, and then they would do the same thing with 1B. All right? Then it'd be 2A, then 2B. Then 3A and 3B. So this would be Monday and Tuesday. They are only working on day 1. These 5 plays are going on Monday and Tuesday. Okay, so it's day A and B, working on the same thing. Then this right here would be 2 days. Wednesday, because I know my days of the week. Thursday. And then this would be Friday and the following Monday. Friday, Monday. So he would rep the same things twice. Why would he do this? Well, it gives the players, they see it for the first time on Monday. They're repping it again on Tuesday, so they get it. This is the same thing that we did. We install something on Monday, and then we rep it again on Tuesday, so they know there's that carryover. You're not going, hey, here's Monday, here's a whole group of plays. Then Tuesday, here's a whole nother group of plays. Then Wednesday, here's a whole nother group of plays. And you won't get to the very first group of plays that we installed until the 4th day. And that changed when we did it. We did say, here's a new group of plays, then we're going to rep them all on those 2 days. Then we're going to a new group of plays, and then we're going to rep them on the next day, and then so on. And then when we come back, they remember it. They retained more of it, and then we're still doing this same install because this is install season. This is not the season where we're working on plays and situations and everything like that. This is for the install. So and we're going to be doing this from now, spring ball, until fall camp starts. And hallelujah, we have fall camp. But this is what we're going to do, and the players are going to get the reps over and over and over again. And guys, I'm going to be honest. I thought my offense was easy enough last year. Doing this, installing new plays, I've had the players come and say, Coach, this is easier now. Like, I understand it. I remember these plays. I don't have any mental breakdowns. They're not turning around asking me, what do I do? We're not having any wide receivers mess up on their plays, running the routes, or linemen blocking the wrong way. Or, God, the worst thing is when you call a pull play and both guards pull and smash into each other. We're not having any of that because we're able to scaffold what we do in practice, run it, and then do it all over again the very next day. And it's working so beautifully. So let's go to the chat. It is unbelievable, guys. Do y'all do anything like that? Let me know in the chat below. George talking about Texas. Kenny Simpson, yes, if then is the best way to run an offense. I completely agree. And again, guys, hats off to Kenny because I've been bouncing ideas off of him all this offseason, and he knows his stuff, man. I know a lot of y'all know that. Oh, sorry, Kenny. Let me go ahead and throw that in there. Yep, look at that. Look at that picture. Beautiful. Beautiful. Okay. I see Alabama's going to have it tough, but yeah, we got some college ball going on. Yes, I love it. Would it be a better idea to rep the base 4 days on the 5th day and then, yes, so Joshua, that's a good thing. So this is also something that I do as well. So if we go, let me take this down real quick. If we're going day 1, Monday, Tuesday, we're running our stuff. Then Wednesday, Thursday, during team, I'm sprinkling maybe 1 or 2 runs of the if-then in team on this, just so it's a refresher. And then on day 3, I'm maybe sprinkling in some day 2 runs right there, just for them to remember it. And that is a way that they can retain it, but also learn something new. I'm not burdening them with the mental capacity of trying to remember all these plays that they just learned the day before in it. They're having reps, and that's the name of the game. Do you have reps? Can you rep it enough in practice so that your players know it? And I have found, going from this method and comparing it to previous years when we did something different, they're retaining it a lot more. They are understanding it, and then they actually like to come out there sometimes. I could not tell you how many times I have had players in the past go, Coach, what do we do on stick when I'm flipping it back and forth? Or what do I do on shallow cross? What's the progression again? I don't understand this. Coach, how are we blocking inside zone again? I forgot. That was the old way. This way, I don't have any of those players coming up and asking me. They're asking me why didn't we do this sooner? And I'm like, oh my God, I don't know. Why haven't we done this sooner? Because this is so easy. It works. And it's unbelievable. Todd, I love this idea. George says, Joshua, that's a good question. I like it. Can you talk a little bit about this if-then concept? I'm not familiar with it. Sure thing, Chase. So I'm a huge proponent of complementary plays, constraints, meaning if the defense takes away something, then you should have an answer for it. The best place you could go if you want to learn about the if-then is the wing tee. Try to find, I know it's like Bitcoin right now with the price of this book, the Delaware wing tee. Sometimes it's $150. Sometimes you can snatch a copy for $30. It walks you through the whole wing tee philosophy of if you want to run buck sweep, then they do this, then you run belly. So you're trying to take that same thought process and apply it to your offense. For example, let's say you're a huge power team. That is what you want to do day in and day out. Well, if right here you run power, then they stop it, what are you going to run in place of that? Usually it's counter. So if they stop power, then you run counter. Another way you can do that is if inside zone, for us, the scrape exchange on the back. And what I mean by that, let me go ahead and get this cleared off. Yep. So let's say we have inside zone, and I'm just drawing the backside. We would always have this on inside zone. He would knife in, he would come around. The scrape exchange. And that really messes up what you do on inside zone on the backside because the quarterback is getting a pull read, but then he's getting popped in the mouth by the linebacker. Well, for us, if we run inside zone and they scrape exchange, then we're going to either two things. We're going to base this end and then have this wide receiver run a snag route and then read this, or we would also run some pin and pull or something. But we're going to lock that backside and then move the read from the end to the linebacker. That was our answer. And it's also in the passing game. For example, 4 verts. If they're dropping everybody back for 4 verts, then you can run the shallow cross or you could run the mesh. Another example would be if they're banging the mesh, so every time our guys would mesh, the defenders would just knock them around, then we would run shallow cross, meaning we have one guy coming across, they're going to try to hit him, but we have a dig coming right behind it. So you want to think about plays that have an if-then component to it to take advantage of whatever the defense is not defending. I hope that made sense. Meme King doing this year, that's for sure. Yes, sir. Coach Steve just finished my offense install tonight. How'd it go, buddy? I hope it went all right. Coach P, I took the 4-day install format but did it weekly. Day 1 was week 1, day 2 was week 2, and so on. I was able to then install some plays versus different looks. I like that. Did it work for you? And see, again, this is just the way I do things. There's different ways to do it. I just found that this way that I'm talking about helped my players retain the information a lot more and got them excited. George, the first question you asked a recruit is, what is 9 times 3? I don't ask that. I don't recruit. Coach Ross, I coach middle school. We don't get spring ball. First day of school is our first day of practice. We only get about 12 practices until our first game. Do you think this plan could translate? Yeah, Coach, I really do, especially if you sprinkle. So if you go to that, I mean, you got 3 days, so it's 2, 2, and 2. But if you would sprinkle, so day 1 and 2 as one, day 3 and 4 as the next install, and day 5, 6. Yes. So put everything in, break it down into the 3 columns, day 1, day 2, day 3, but then do day 1's column. So this column for 2 days, this column for 2 days, but also take a couple of plays from day 2 and put them in there just to sprinkle them in. This is me sprinkling. And do the same thing for day 5 and 6. Take some plays from 3 and 4, put them in there. And then you can also do it this way. So you have a circular motion, like have a finite thing you want to install and rep, but also bring some plays along that they already know just to keep fresh in their mind. It's kind of like teaching. I'm teaching one thing, but it's built upon what we learned previously. So your entire offense has to build upon itself, but you can still bring in some things, kind of like a cumulative test, and just run it so that they are staying fresh with the ability. I hope that made sense. George, I have no idea what this channel is, but I think the best football coach ever automatically. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. We do this during 25 summer contact days. Yeah, I like that. So that if you have that, Coach B, if you have that entire time, you are still able to get stuff in. So you're not missing out on anything. And you're in Illinois. I love it. Brian says, how do you split time between offense and defense? Hold on, let me bring that back up. We do 4 days a week in the summer, 2 offense and 2 defense. How do you do it? Okay, this is how we do it. I have both worked at a 2-platoon team and a 1-platoon. We are 1 platoon now, so we do it offense and defensive days, but if we have 2 hours. So for instance, today for us was a defensive day, meaning at a 2 hours, an hour and 15 minutes was devoted to the defense, 45 minutes was devoted to the offense. Then when it's an offensive day, we flip those. And what that does, twofold, I know a lot of y'all probably like, this is crazy, but it forces you on offense or defense to get the core of your plays. Oh, almost busted my ass. What are we going to hang our hat on? And then from that is what you work on with the 45 minutes. This is what we're going to hang our hat on, this right here. Everything we do is going to get great at doing what we're going to hang our hat on. And then on the other day when we have more time, then we can kind of expand the playbook a little bit and do a little bit more things. And actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I actually did a mini workshop on that, how to practice, how to plan everything, the perfect practice structure. Here it is. You can go to footballfreedom.com. It's a mini workshop. It's unbelievable what you get inside of it. This is everything. You get the mini workshop, you get the Q&A, which is over 2 hours, and you get some bonus videos. I dive deep into those kind of things because I have had a lot of coaches come to me and say, Coach, how do you do this? So if you want, again, to get access to that, just go to thefootballfreedom.com. It's right there. It's probably one of the best mini workshops I've put out there, and just nice segue. But that's what I would do right there. I don't believe in doing offense one day, defense one day, because they could forget. They're kids. I forget what I eat for lunch 2 days ago. Can you imagine what the kids are doing when they have a lot more stuff to do than me? So that's what we're doing. You do 3 weeks of defense and one of no, not that. We 2-platoon and we insert potential to. Yeah, so there's a hybrid. And that mini workshop, I actually talk about what to do when you have hybrid players. When you're not 1-platoon or 2-platoon, you just have hybrid players. And I agree. On that, Coach B, I would say, I'm sure you do this. Give those hybrid players not too much. Just give them a core thing. Like if it's an offensive players, give them a core group of plays. Hey, these are your plays you're going to get great at if you're hybrid. Or on the flip side, if you have offensive players, and you're putting them on defense, say, hey, these are what I'm going to talk about. These are the only defensive plays you need to worry about right here. I feel as if hybrids, and I've fallen into this mistake too, we put too much on them because we think they're better than everybody else because they're playing both ways. They're one of the few kids that are actually playing both ways. We give them too much, and then they poop the bed because they have too much to think about. Thinking, if they think, they go slow. If they go slow, they get beat. If they get beat, you lose your job, essentially. That's what happens. Todd, I'm assuming inside zone and GT count are two of your run plays. What else are you dabbling? Todd, my man, I love you. Hit me up offline. I'm not gonna spill that tea yet. I'm working on some pretty cool stuff going on, and we finally scrimmaged today. Dude, I was amazed at work. It was really good. I'm also doing some stuff for tempo that, let's just say, I get really goosed up when we play, and it's something that I just can't wait to talk about. Let's see. Joshua, I agree with Coach Pete. Yep, we work both sides every day. If we need, we split the practice in half. Good. I like that. That's why you're smart, Coach P. Daniel, any thoughts on how to mesh an offensive install along with a defensive install with no one-way players? Thank you for your time. Okay, Daniel, so I'm guessing I'm stupid, so I might have. How do you do install? Yeah, I would say go back to this. Let me bring it up real quick. Go back to this, man. Do the same thing. Have a defensive install schedule for day one, a defensive install schedule for day two, and then do the same thing for day three. Now, I know defensive coordinators are going to be like, that's bullshit. You can't do that. I don't know, man. I'm talking to a lot of good defensive coaches that have realized, hey, if we simplify it, if we're not running that Nick Saban, Rip Liz cover six. When people ask me what cover 7 is with quarters and stuff, I'm like, dude, I have no idea. So if I don't know and I live this stuff, like this is the only thing I do is football. How can I install it to the kids? But I don't want to get on that. I would just have the install schedule like this so you're installing it the same. And if you have 2 hours, do 1 hour offense, 1 hour defense, just installing. And you just rep it over and over again. The learning to me, especially this in a skill or anything, is through repetition. So you have to rep the same things over and over again. The same drills that correlate to the team periods, that the team periods then are the group periods, then the group periods carry over to the team. And what you're learning throughout the practice is helping you understand what you're trying to install. That's the whole concept of this. There's a study that was out that if you give someone too many options or too many choices, they make no choice. So it's the same idea here for us as coaches. If we have too many plays, then we have no plays and we don't know what to call. But if we have a core group of plays that we assume this is what we're going to hang our hat on, and we're going to get great at these plays, and you just rep them over and over again, you're going to be better than 80% of the teams that you are facing. And that's just the 80-20 principle that, if anyone follows me, knows that I love this. All right, Chase. All right, I gotcha. Understand it now. Thank you. I'll keep an eye out for that book. Yes, sir. Hey, what I did was I put a Google alert on it, and that's what I did. And when it popped up, I looked at the price. I was like, hey, it's under $40. I turned to my wife, and I was like, baby, I'm sorry. I love you. You buy a lot of stupid plants, house plants. This is my stupid thing. I'm going to buy this book. And then I bought it. And every single summer, I read it, and I learn something different. And something, I become better as a coach. Not because I'm running the wing tee. Not because of that. Just I'm applying the if-then structure of what the wing tee does to my offense. And I try to say, okay, what are my two if-thens? What's my base play, and then what do I do if that defense tries to take it away? What's my base pass? What's a tag then to it if they stop the normal way? What's a screen and what's something? So a bubble screen. Well, what do I do if they take that away? I lock it up and fake the bubble and go deep. Those are the if-thens. And if you can, and same thing with defense. I have a standard cover 3 where I have the two corners bailing and the safety in the middle field. Well, what's it then if they keep hitting the flats? Well, I'm going to roll that corner down and then move the safeties over in some kind of sky coverage to take away that flat. I'm still playing the same concept. It's just different people in different spots. And I think that's what you need to do to get better. That's just me, though. If those lasers go out behind you, then I just cuss and get some new ones. I love that, Kenny. I love that. Hey, don't hate, man. I had red up here. Where am I at? Right here. My son loves blue, so I was like, okay, yeah, go for it. George, that's crazy, bro. Of course you need to practice offense. Yeah. I think George is just saying stuff. Coach Johnson ran air raid for the first year and had the best offense in the area. Yes, sir, Coach. I love that. Heck yeah. You know what? Round of applause for you, buddy. Round of applause for you. I freaking love that. Meme King, how does this apply to formations? Is this of them for actual plays, or is it the form? It's for the formations as well. What I like, and this is a problem. That's a great question there, Meme King. I wish I knew what it is. I'm gonna call you Coach King from now on. A lot of coaches, when they get into that, I want to be as simple as possible with a shit ton of formations. It goes back to the thing. When you have all these choices, you have no choices. So you come up with all these intricate formations and everything, especially when you're starting to install your plays and your kids are frozen because they don't know what to do. So for that, formationally, I would say take your base plays, your base formations, get great at them, and then start to expand the formations a little bit. I know Kenny does that big time. He has a lot. He's really big on formations, but starting out, he doesn't have that many. He does his base formations, his base motion, and then once the kids are comfortable in that, then you can branch out to more formations, different shifts, all of that stuff. That's the approach we're taking in this install right here. That's what we're doing. But great question, Coach King. Let's see. Joshua, the better question can be, can you recruit better? No one can recruit better than him. Coach Ross, thank you. Coach Steve, running air raid and 8-man this year, expecting good things. My guys were bummed every day when practice is over. They would practice all night. They love it. Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. There's something magical about the air raid. I will say that. I love it, especially when you're going from teams that have been run-oriented. And I'm not saying, like, look, say what you want about the wing tee. Kenny kind of has a good system. He runs the wing tee principles, but he also throws it a lot. A lot of kids don't like it when you're doing that wing tee or that double wing or that single wing or everything like that, and you don't pass it. And if you don't believe me, go and look at those other courses out there, like Glacier and stuff like that they're in there. They have a lot of passes because they know you got to throw the ball. It's just the air raid does it better, Steve. I completely agree with you, man. Completely agree. That's how we've been doing it. Works great. Yep. George, what do you mean by 1 platoon teams and 2 platoon teams? Great question. If you have enough kids on your team that nobody plays both sides of the ball, so you have a strictly defensive team that all 11 kids do not play offense. You have another 11 kids that are good enough to play offense. So essentially, you have 22 starters that are playing only one side of the ball, like the NFL or college or something like that. 1 platoon means you don't have that many, so you have kids that are playing on both sides. You have 11 kids that are playing both offense and defense, and it's very hard to schedule and everything like that and script practice unless you get the course, the mini course, man. I go over it. I go over this in depth right here. This is what we do. We break it down into 1 platoon and 2 platoon and everything. So that's what we do in that course, but that is what 1 platoon and 2 platoon means right there. And Coach P's got it. 2 platoon is 11 players on offense, 11 on defense. 1 platoon is both players going both way. You're right. Yeah, Coach Steve, yes. 8-man, they're playing every position, all 8 positions on both sides of the ball right there. Dylan, have you been working in the sugar huddle? Dylan, I'm not saying anything. Just wait. I have videos coming up on the different types of tempo. I'm not saying anything, buddy, but maybe. I might be. Brian, awesome. Thanks. Yes, sir. What is the sugar huddle? You huddle up, and like Auburn, huddle up and then go. And then you snap the ball as fast as possible. I love it. We do it like that during the season, but not the summer. Okay. We usually focus heavy on offense in preseason, and during the season, it's mostly defense. How does that work, Daniel? Do you find that you're falling off when you do that? Like your kids aren't that good doing stuff like that? Because I want to be fresh. I want to be doing things over and over and over again like that. That's me. And hey, guys, by the way, if you haven't already, let's see if this works. It's not. Oh, yeah, I'm going to bring that up right there. But subscribe if you haven't. I'm going to talk about that. I caused a shitstorm on Twitter. And I'm going to address that shitstorm right in a little bit. But if you haven't, hit that subscribe button, hit the bell notification, and all of that fun stuff. And give me a thumbs up if you're finding this interesting. Because what I plan on doing is every Tuesday going live, either bringing someone in. I had an interview scheduled. It fell through at the last second. But every Tuesday at this time, I'm going to come on the Showcast, and we're going to talk some stuff, talk some ball. All right, best mechanic drills for middle school quarterbacks. Best thing I can tell you to do. and this is not because I love the guy and I think he's Rain Man of football. R4, Dub Maddox, get his stuff. He's coming out with a new book. I'm trying to see if I can't get him on the Showcast, talk some ball, but that is the best place to get your quarterback stuff through. Hands down, everybody he's affiliated with, quarterback-wise, that's who I would go with right there. All right, check out the pass coverage glossary for cover 7 pattern. To me, I equate pattern matching as in basketball. I was a basketball coach for 6 years. Matchup zone. I love it. I love it. It's just really intensive. Like, it took us a while in basketball to get that. It's even worse in football to me. Coach King, question. Are you saying that 3 quick plays and 3 drop back plays are enough to counter whatever a defense presents you? Yes, for the most part. I think we have too much stuff. And then this is something, that's a great question, by the way, Coach King. So let me bring this up. If you wanted to, let's say you wanted to do something, you could have a drop back here and then a tag. So this could be the if, and this could be the then. Let me give you an example. Shallow cross, right? Let me clear this out. This is what normally happens. If I have any offensive line coaches on here, please don't hate me. I know you're going to hate this, but there's a line. So we have, I'm just putting these guys here. All right. Shallow cross. You got the dig, you got the shallow, and then you have the verts on the outside, right? Well, what happens if this safety decides to rob this dig? You're hitting the dig, you're hitting the dig, you're hitting the dig. Eventually, you're going to have a safety that's going to come down and take this. Well, the then to that is then you would post whichever wide receiver that safety is on, post him. So that now, if he takes the dig, then you throw the post. That's some way you could do that, Meme King, Coach King. Right there. Nick, I do it the same way. Drills must correlate with Instar or what we are attempting. Exactly. Indy goes with groups. Groups go with team. Everything has to align. Every drill has to match up what we're installing. Every group period should be scripted out. Every team period should be scripted out as well. All you coaches need to listen to Coach N, implement this style. This is what I did last summer, and players were able to retain the info. Yes, sir. Good. I'm glad they did, man. There's a free PDF version of the order of the wing tee out in the interwebs. Just, hey, heck yeah, Richard. Just Google it and just put the order of the wing tee PDF into Google, hit enter, and you'll probably get it then if it's out there. Chase, George, I'm so happy. Good. Chase, thumbs up. Kenny Simpson, love your books, Coach. He has one. Be on the lookout. Kenny and I are going to be doing something soon. We have something in the works. It's going to be awesome. Love hearing Coach McKie, true student of the game. I am, man. I am. I try to be. Hey, if you're not trying to learn, you're going to be failing. Thanks. Ignore the second question. You answered it. Heck yeah. Joshua, yes, sir. I learned so much from the both of you. Much respect. And thanks to, Josh, stop. You're going to make me blush, man. You're going to make me blush. The more you see, the more coaches want to do. Successful programs continue to have success year in and year out. Keeping it simple, running the football, still disable off. I agree. Successful programs do the same things over and over again. Unless they have, now I know there's a couple of those oddball, and I'm not saying oddball in a bad sense, but a couple of those programs that just have dudes that it doesn't matter what they run. They can, like when I was coming up, we won the state championship my 11th grade year. We played for the state championship my senior year. We literally could have ran anything, and we were loaded with dudes. That's how it is every year in Texas. So, but for the most part, most good programs run the same stuff from high school, JV, B team, middle school. And if they can, which I'm going to touch on in a minute, the youth league. If they can get that vertical alignment and run everything the same so that those young kids, when they come up to the high school, they already know the standard stuff. So all the high school has to do is then start perfecting the technique. That's when you have true magic, and I freaking love it. By the way, the mini course was very good, Coach. I appreciate it, Todd. And I did not pay him to say that. But thanks, buddy. You know what? You're the man. You're the man. All right, good stuff. I'm an expert for 60 years old, and I've been here since the birth. Okay, George. Woo. All right, there we go. George was talking too much. I'm sorry, George. All right, that block button is amazing for, Evan, right here, buddy. Done it. Did it. The Mills concept. All right, let's see. Would that be a quick read on the safety by the wide receiver, or would that be a design play? Coach, that is a great question. You're talking about the shallow cross right here. Honestly, when I called this, I'm telling him, hey, think the post. Think post. Think touchdown, because I see that guy keep coming down. So when I tag things, I try to tell my quarterback, that is me telling you on the sideline, throw the damn ball. If you throw an interception, that is on me. It's not on you. I want you to pull the trigger on this tag right here. Now, if your quarterback is more comfortable, he can read it. He can read it from the top down or something like that. But me, when I'm tagging things, I want him to go ahead and pull that trigger because that's what I want. All right, Coach Martin. Hey, Coach McKie, do you think that is possible? An air raid offense on 9-on-9 football? Greetings from Argentina. First off, Coach Martin, heck yeah, man. Thank you for staying up in Argentina and watching this ugly face talk football. And to answer your second question, 100% yes. I've helped 6-man teams run the air raid. I've helped 7-man, 8, 9, and 11. It is 100% doable. You can totally do it. Don't let the amount of players out there stop you, man. Kenny, I've been waiting to hear how to score at least 52. That was just me being a smartass on Twitter. I was just being a smartass. I forgot there's no sarcasm post or anything like that. I was just trying to get a rise at everybody, and it backfired. This has been very helpful once I get my JV kids this summer. Thanks, Coach. No, thank you, man. Thanks for staying around. All right. Zach, I've been watching your videos all off season. I've learned so much that's going to help me be a better offensive coach. I'm ready to roll. Thanks, Coach. Zach, thank you, man, for watching it, because you can watch anything, but you're watching me. Now, again, I can't, before we move on, let me go ahead. If, like Todd was saying, you want to learn or follow how to do practice, and I'm 100% serious when I say this. I 100. This was probably one of the best mini workshops I've ever put on. It's talking about practice, how to structure it. You get practice schedules, all of that. This is everything that's included. You get walkthroughs. I'm adding 2 more bonuses, Todd, so be on the lookout for that. In this, all you have to do is go to thefootballfreedom.com, and then there it is. And getting into this, man, guys, I didn't know it would cause a shitstorm like this, but it did. I just want y'all to see my mother flipping timeline, okay, of the cancel youth sports. Let me pull it up real quick. I mean, I have got the 3-year varsity letterman. So this is the quote. This is what happened. Cancel youth tackle football. Because the last time I checked, I know we have selective memory, but the last time, let me pull this up on my phone real quick. There was something going around Twitter that everybody and their mother was going nuts about, talking about how bad it was and everything. So do we remember this? Hold on, that's not it. There we go. Do we remember this? We remember that, right? We remember that play. And then also, look at what everybody else is talking. This thing had 13.2 thousand freaking retweets with quotes. And this is everything. Right here. Just everybody talking about how bad it is. Everybody talking about how this isn't good. To me, this is youth football. Okay? This is everything. Everybody hated it. So then we come over here. I say this, and I had so many people. This is my notifications right now. So many people. First off, Nate can't even spell my name right. It's there. Rob. It's Ron. Okay? Just totally shitting on me. Believe they fired that coach also? They should have. It was awful. It's wartime. I mean, my phone is blowing up all day. Now, this is what I'm saying. When I say cancel youth tackle, I'm not saying get rid of football. I'm not saying doing what they did in California where they're banning it. I'm saying that up to a certain age, these kids should not be tackling. They should be learning. They should be having fun. That's what I truly believe, up into a certain level. And then I've had a lot of coaches say, hey, it's the high school's job to help coach it. So now we have the high school coach who has to run his program, his JV program, his BT program, talk about to the middle school and have them run the same thing. Then on top of that, they have to do the rec league. And some of these rec leagues are freaking huge. Huge. That is unbelievable. For someone that's making maybe $10K for that, he's got to control all that CEO. What I'm talking about is there needs to be, I personally believe, and it was a couple of years ago, I was talking to Coach Mike Rowe. Now, Mike Rowe was an unbelievable football coach up in Minnesota. Won maybe 4 state championships in 7 years. He went to like 7 straight and won 4 of them. Unbelievable, but he saw his numbers dwindling. So what did he do? He had his rec team cancel tackle football, instituted passing league, all the way up to 6th grade, and then he took the 7th graders and 8th graders and taught them his offense for his school so that when they got to the high school, they were already running it. They had really quality coaches at the middle school level, and then they were creating excitement in the rec department. Guys were coming out. He told a story to me when, if you go all the way back to my podcast, he was talking about a kid that at the time, 6'7", was one of the fat ones. Okay? And if he would have played rec ball, they would have put him on the line and made him block over and over and over again. And no one likes that. I'm sorry, but no one likes playing offensive line as a 6 or 7-year-old because everybody wants to throw the ball. But what happened to that kid? When he got to the middle school, he hit puberty. He turned out to be one of their best wide receivers. Now, if you forced that kid to play offensive lineman, he might not have had the chance to have that kid as a wide receiver because he hated the game so much. So I'm saying from the youth department all the way till maybe 6th grade. So 7th on, you play normal football. That's fine. But for the bottom tier, 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, I can't count because and I'm stupid like that. I think you should be working on just having fun, working 7-on-7, the little parts to get them interested in football. And if you say, well, how do you know they can hit? Fellas, we know who's aggressive before they even do it. We know as a little kid, like point blank, my son, aggressive. He would be a great football player. My daughter shies away from contact, won't do anything like that. So if she's going to play sports, she's playing something like tennis or something like that. You know from a young age what pup's going to bite, what pups is all bark. And that's all I was saying right there. But people just went nuts. A lot. Not all youth coaches do it for their... Exactly. A lot of them are dads that want to be coaches but can't, so they coach their son. I remember vividly only a couple of instances when I played youth ball. One, I was playing against kids that had pubic hair and pubes on their dick and balls probably in 5 years old. I mean, these were grown men out there just dominating. And I was a late bloomer. I didn't hit puberty until I was in middle school. So they were dominating me, and it sucked. Also, the stupid drills, the laying back-to-back, that meme you see where this drill right here is responsible for half of all the basketball players in America, where they blow a whistle, we get up, and we have to smack. That's stupid. When are we going to do that? Yet these are the type of drills that they're doing. And then people will come and say, hey, it's the head coach's fault. No, it's not. It is not the head coach's fault. The head coach cannot be responsible. What about those big-time schools that have 18 different rec departments? They're supposed to do that. Now, yes, they should be going down there and showing their face and letting them know, hey, I'm the head football coach. You're coming to my school. But for that coach to control everything down the pipeline, I have talked to so many coaches that are having a difficult time getting their middle school on board running what the high school does. And then they have to turn around and fight that same thing with rec. Daddy ball, for the most part, I would say 80%. Moron coaches, yeah, when drills like that are starting to be banned at the highest levels of football, then yeah, exactly. I 100% agree. They're not even doing that in the NFL and stuff. Matt, if you had 2 concepts to throw in each formation, 2x2, 3x1, 2x1, what would you roll with? I'm going to pick a concept that works with all of those. So off the top of my head, stick and corner. Stick, Y-cross. I'm a huge Y-cross fan. Corner Y-cross. You can do mesh. You can do verts. Have one of the back out of 2x1 become the vert. So I would work on things that work in all those formations because then that saves you time of installing and doing all that hard work, trying to think of everything. I'm a 2-back, 1-back, under center pro style offensive coach. I've taken some of your concepts and incorporated them in our scheme with success. At times, we coaches can get stagnant. Thanks for the ideas. Heck yeah, man. Hey, all I ask is the score points. That's it. I just like when the score goes up. Scoreboard. That is everything, man. I freaking love it. Is Rob your wing tee alter Heath? God damn it. I'm glad you're doing okay. I hate you, though. I hate you. I forgot it's like morning time over there, isn't it? All right, what level do you feel is okay to start? I think 7th grade. Maybe 6th, 7th. But again, it's when you're that young, you have kids that have fully developed, and you have kids that are still in diapers, and they're facing each other. And they hate because the kids are How many kids, I can name at least 5 off the top of my head that I went to school with, dominated in rec league, dominated in middle school, sucked in high school because everybody caught up with them. But what that did, it did this service to two people. The kid that sucked at high school, but that was dominant because he got told his entire life he was great. He was going to the NFL. He was amazing. He's going to the NBA, Major League Baseball, all that stuff. And then to hit that ceiling at high school and think you topped out at rec and youth league, that's detrimental. That messes you up for a long time. But then you also have those kids that weren't developed yet that could have had a love for the game and wanted to do this for a long time, just get destroyed for 5-6 years by those guys that they thought were going to the NFL. They just quit on the sport. And then they have that what if I played in high school? Because then I started filling out. I started lifting weights. I started getting bigger and stronger and faster. I could have actually done something, but I've been degraded in youth. I've been yelled at by Frank's dad, who is fucking overweight and doesn't do anything and yells at me because I'm not hitting hard enough and calls me pansies and pussies and everything like that. And I just hated it. And I think that's where we're at. I just want the kids to play, to develop a love for the game. And then when they eventually get old enough and they start to close that gap between abilities because, they're starting to hit puberty and stuff like that, then they can play the real game. That's just me. Rob, I'm a flexbone guy. I live in the if-then world. It's still, yeah. The beautiful thing is Paul Johnson, when he can call his offense, doesn't have a call sheet. He knows it all if-then. He sees it. He grabs a guy, throws it out there. I love that. And that's one of the beautiful things about those types of offenses, the run-oriented offenses, is you have to have an if-then because of the way things are. It's unbelievable. I love it. Patrick, what does run the ball coach do with no tackling? I have a soft spot for power. Also, I'm not a coach, just a fan. I don't understand. What does run the ball coach do with no tackling? I don't understand that, Patrick. I'm sorry. And if you're on this channel, you're a coach, man. You're a coach. Is conditioning using tempo at practice when running the offense a good stuff? Yes, it is. It is. And I actually talk about this in the mini workshop about conditioning, how you need to build it in. Because think about it. I'm a player, right? I know we're going to be out here for 2 hours on top of conditioning afterwards. So I'm always going to hold a little bit in the reserves because I don't want to tap out at conditioning. I know conditioning is there. So in the back of my mind, I'm like, I can't go that hard in this drill. I can't go that hard in tempo. I can't go that hard in this group period because I need to save a little bit to run. And the running is stupid. How many times in a game are you going to go from one sideline to the other in under 10 seconds? Never. How many times are you going to run 40-yard sprints without stopping all the way down through the line? Never. But that is what conditioning is. I don't understand it. If you build in, this is what it say, hey guys, if you go hard, we're not going to have conditioning. And you have to threaten them a couple of times. Like after one period, be like, guys, if you go that slack again, we're going to have to run after practice. And that'll pick it up. And now, yeah, you're probably going to have to do something like that, maybe the first, second, and third week of practice because they're going to call your bluff. They're going to see if you're full of shit. Once they learn that you're not, they will actually go hard, and you just have to threaten them over and over again, and that builds it in. They're going fast. They don't even realize that they're actually conditioning. They're working on their technique, their drill, their speed, going game fast, all that. So when a game does come, it's super simple, super easy. They're not tired at all. It's unbelievable. So I would build that in. I was talking with the defensive coordinator at college I'm at. He said that tempo takes away from technique and execution. He said this is why most Big 12 players don't make it in the NFL. Alabama used tempo. Clemson used tempo. A lot of them use tempo. I don't know. To me, Big 12 always gets shit on, but let's call a spade a spade. The last 10 years, there was only really been one school that's dominated. I don't hear anybody shitting on the ACC. Clemson's won, what, 1 or 2, and Alabama's won the rest? What about Big Ten? They haven't won squat, yet no one's shitting on them. It's always the Big 12, and again, it's because of those offenses. Defensive coordinators, even though they're catching up now, hate what came out of the Big 12. So any chance they get, they're going to dump on them. Because you saw the thing on Twitter now. Saban, he went to these kinds of offenses because he realized you can't stop that on defense. So I just think it's a hate. Again, I'm an idiot, so what the hell do I know? Absolutely, I encourage parents to have their kids play flag football until 7th and 8th grade. Yeah, that's another one. I didn't even think about that. Not 7-on-7, but flag. I mean, you still have to break down, take it, and all that stuff. I love it. Lots of coaches at the youth level don't have a clue. Kiddos with bad experiences won't come back to football. No, and especially when we're having short. Okay, kids are leaving in drones, and us as coaches are always complaining about video games and Fortnite and the phone and everything. When I was growing up, it was always video games because of Madden, NCAA. My dad's generation, it was always about Atari and dope. There's always that boogeyman that we blame it on someone. But we never turn around and look at the youth coaches. Like, maybe they had a horrible experience. I know I did. I had shit-awful youth coaches. The only time I actually had a decent coach was when my dad coached. And the only reason why he was a good coach was because he was a high school basketball coach. So he knew what he was doing. Everybody else that was youth coaches when I was growing up were dads that were has-beens, that were living vigorously through their own kid. So that's a cycle that gets perpetuated in the rec leagues over and over again. And that's why we're losing so many kids. It's unbelievable. Just let them have fun. The Frank's dad's tangent was fabulous. Oh. Sometimes I don't even know what I'm saying. It just comes out. I'm a graduate from Western Felician. I don't even know how to say that. I'm sorry. I was about to say fallopian tube. I don't know. And I was wondering, what advice can I get from you on how I can learn to be an offensive coordinator? The best advice, if you want to go to the offense, if you want to grow as a coach on the right side, I'm just kidding, defensive coordinators. On the offensive side, coach defense. And then vice versa. If you want to be a great defensive coach, coach offense. Why? You've got to learn what the other side's trying to do, and then you reverse engineer it to know how to stop it. For example, me, I'm always now, when I go to clinics and everything, I'm learning what defensive guys are doing. I want to know what they're trying to stop. And if you go and look at all the guys, Vass, Coog, Kyle, whatever his name is, that completely hates me because I made fun of Saban, Cody Alexander, all of them, they're drawing up diagrams against 2x2, 3x1, and H-back, how to stop it and all that stuff. So they're working on the spread, how to stop the spread. So once I figure out what they're doing to stop the spread, I then try to create ways to undo what they're trying to stop. That's what I'm doing on the offensive side. Defensively, go coach offense. Figure out what offensive coaches are doing, and then try to reverse engineer what you would do as a defensive coordinator to stop what the offensive guys are doing. That's what I would do. Just don't stay on one side of the ball. You've got to have both, even if it's just a couple of years on one side before trying to get to the side that you want to coach. That's what I would do. Hope that made sense. Comparing to the NFL is not be the best. NFL is not having one contact per week this year. Mischievous, first off, is that the G.I. Joe avatar? Because if it is, love it. Second, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sorry. Again, just a football coach. Let's see. Patrick, I was thinking of youth coaches that focus on running the ball. Is there a way to implement the running game without tackling? No, and that's what I'm saying. I think you should just have the kids have fun. I'm a fat kid. Put yourself in a fat kid's position. You're a fat kid. You come out there. You're excited. Your favorite player is Odell Beckham. Your favorite player is Patrick Mahomes. Your favorite player is freaking, I don't know, some wide receiver that's ungodly. You go out there. You have the jersey on. You're ready to start playing. You want people to throw you a ball. You got halfway decent hands. You got to. You're fat. I mean, you're catching all the food. And then all of a sudden, you're Bobby's dad takes one look at you and goes, "Oh, you're a fat ass. Get on the line." That's all you're playing. Block somebody. What are you doing when Bobby's son, of course, is the quarterback, and he don't know what the hell he's doing progression-wise. He's just running around there and gets sacked. Does he yell at Bobby? No, he's coming to yell at you because you're the offensive lineman. After a while, I'm not going to want to play it. I'm going to do something else. I'm going to go play basketball. I'm going to get a Zion jersey on, and I'm just going to go shoot ball because no one's telling me not to play. They're like, hey, you're going to be, blocking someone on basketball. No, they'll say, hey, you're a big dude. You're going to play center. Hey, give the ball to the center because he's big. Or I'm going to play baseball because if I can get this momentum going and crank one out, they're going to love me. There's a reason why. I'm saying that we're not looking at the reason why these kids aren't coming back. And for me, there's a lot of coaches that do those drills. Oklahoma drills that I've never seen that drill before where that dude KO'd that other dude. But they're doing it. And I guarantee you that kid, first off, probably has CTE. Second, has a concussion. I felt that. And third, probably never play another down of football again because of that. All right. That's just, again, me. How are the numbers in your high school or youth league? I think numbers are a little bit better this year than they were during COVID. Now, during COVID, I think I don't know how many people were scared of playing or what, but I will tell you this, the numbers were down. We threw the ball a lot more last year than they had previous years. We have more kids. Like last year, we didn't have a JV team. This year, we do have a JV team. I'm not saying that the air raid or throwing the ball around got those kids out, but that's what I'm saying. It did it. I know some schools are doing really well. They're having a lot of people out. And then other schools that are struggling to field a team because of two reasons. One, with COVID, a lot of the kids got jobs because they didn't have to go to school. They got a taste of that money. They don't want to go back. So they're not coming back. Two, the way attendance was taken, a lot of the kids didn't do anything. So they failed, and that's hurting what am I trying? That's hurting eligibility because they failed too many classes, so now they won't be eligible. A lot of schools, especially the rural schools in South Carolina, are going through that problem right there. So right now, it's looking kind of bad. Jared Goff said the Detroit Lions will be running some spread concepts. Motor City Dan, man, I'm wondering what he can do. He's the man. I can't wait. Can you put the link in for your practice install? Also, love your stuff. Been following for a while. Bob, yes. If you look in the description, it's the very first link. When this is over with, I don't know how. Maybe I can. Hold on. Let me see. It's in the description. I mean, guys, I am still getting blown up from Twitter. I need to put my freaking phone notifications off. Football freedom. There we go. I will put this right in chat. Hopefully it'll work. There's the mini workshop right there, fellas. Let's see. I guess I got lucky with the situation. I was in youth football because they had no coach's son. So when I got yelled at, it was fair enough. Yeah, and I'm not saying, like, a lot of us have good thoughts, but we had fun in the youth league. It's just, to me, there was a lot more bad. Like, it's kind of, for instance, politics, I'm not getting into politics, but there's a study out that said that if you asked constituents if they hate Congress, they say yes. Congress is corrupt. I hate these politicians. They're looking out for themselves, yada, yada, yada. But then when those same people asked, hey, what about your congressman or your senator for your state? They all said, oh, it was great. I love this guy or this gal. They need to stay. This is what I want my congressman or woman, senator or senatee would be. It's just those other people. So to me, it's the same thing with youth. Like, I had a great experience at youth, but all these other guys suck at youth ball. And there's a disconnect there. That's just me. All right. G.I. Joe, agree with the fun, but for some kids, like hit. And I agree, some kids do like to hit. But there's other ways you can do that, like soccer. Say what you want, man. Soccer, I like that. You're running around. You're kind of pushing for the ball, especially at that age. You can figure out who is going to be aggressive through soccer and who's not. Mike Leach also said it, that he likes kids that played soccer because you get a sense of space and how to run around and use your body in space. I know this is America, and a lot of people like to shit on soccer, but I think at that age, it's good. You can get a little bit of aggression out. Same with baseball, same with karate. I mean, there's other sports you can play that are physical, but you don't have people just like running into each other and crowning your heads and fathers. Every time I think of youth, I think of Varsity Blues, those guys that were on the sidelines, with the beer. Like, man, I'm jealous of those kids. That's what I think of. And again, that's just maybe just me, but I see a lot more on social media horrible youth stuff than good stuff. You never see and I know you see a lot more bad than good, but you never see someone tweeting out a good thing. There is one, I will say it, with that little kid, I think it was a soccer kid maybe, came up to his coach, gave his coach like a flower or a thank you bag or something like that and started crying. I swear to God, I thought someone was cutting onions behind me. It got me a little teary-eyed a little bit. But other than that, you don't see anything. You see a lot more parents beating each other up at the games and everything like that. I think that's a good point. When I've gone out with my kids, we play catch, just throw the ball back and forth. I don't think tackling each other ever enters our mind. No, it doesn't. And that's what I'm trying to say. At that age, we're just trying to foster a love of the game. And it's hard to do that when you got Frankie and Bobby's daddy living vicariously through their kids because their kids are athletic at that point of time, and they're trying to build a youth team around there. And then you get fat kids that they're fat. I mean, people, it happens, and they go, you're on the line. You're defensive line. Y'all running each other. Protect my boy. He's going to do everything. That's not building a foster of love for this great sport. That's unbelievable. Like, I've been doing this my entire life. I freaking love this. I'm to the point now where I'm either watching football, talking about football, or listening to Pat McAfee talk about football. It's just football 24/7. I just wanted to stay that way growing, and I found that it's hard to do that if you have a bunch of, because to me, it's like a lot of people are like, America's pansies, so we need to start young. I mean, I got a lot of tweets about that. This is the pussification of America because we're not banging when they're 6. What? No, you should be having fun with these kids. Passing the ball. So how can we as coaches realistically help a transition of youth football away from tackling? Because I agree with you. Again, I'm going to go back to Mike Rowe. Mike Rowe now, that sounds like I'm saying Mike Rowe, but it's Mike Rowe, R-O-W-E. He's now the superintendent up in Minnesota. That's how great of a football coach he was. He went from football coach, state championship football coach, to superintendent. No principal. That's how much influence he had on his area. And his number one thing was he took away youth tackle, implemented flag football 7-on-7, got the kids loving the game. He even made it a rule where the fat kids could play wide receiver and the skinny kids could hike and stuff like that to get people involved. And when they got to the 7th grade, that is when he had his coaches, because he had say in who was the middle school coaches, actually teach them the techniques and the skills that they would need so they could get ready for the high school. And I think that's what we should do, something similar to that. Now, I know a lot of people are going to say that's awful and stuff like that, but I think that's how we do it. All right. What type of tackling drills do you do with your high school team? We do form tackling. We do the hawk tackling with the wheel and things like that. Get the head out of the way. There's a lot of good courses out there that actually teach that. I think you should be working on fundamentals, and defensively, tackling is a fundamental. You should be tackling every day. That's what we do. Brian, I'm running the offense of an all-star game. Do you have any experience with the best way to install? It's my first time. Super excited. First off, Brian, can you hear that? I'm playing a sound effect of clapping. I just want to know if you can hear that. But high fives and butt slaps, man. I don't personally. I've talked to a lot of coaches. One you should reach out to is Sean Lyota. He is installed. It's just keep things simple. Actually, Kenny, if you're still in here, Kenny's running one right now. Hook up with Kenny Simpson. He'll tell you what he does and help you run that as well. Coach Lance, I had my son play soccer when he was 3 to 6 years old. It gives a good foundation for footwork. Yes, sir, Coach Lance. My son's going to play, and so is my daughter. I can't wait. I'm glad COVID's going away and our rec department's opening back up. Because it's right. You're working foot. You're working controlling your body. Let's be honest. At that age, too, kids are uncoordinated. They're hitting growth spurts. 1 minute they're walking, the next minute they're falling down. That's what happens to my son and daughter. Imagine doing all that and then having them hit each other and yelling at them when they're not good enough. That's what's going on right now. So, Eagle Boy, how do you call plays in from the sideline if you do at all? Signals, QB wrist? I've done everything. I've done signals. I'm a big fan of signals. I've done quarterback wristbands where everyone had their wristband and they had their play. You just signal it in, the number, the color, whatever, and everybody looks at it. I haven't done the running to the sideline like Colt Brennan. God rest his soul. God, that crushed me. That was my hero. That was the dude, man. That's what got me in the run and shoot, Colt and June. Some coaches I've seen just shout it because it's simple. Yeah, I've done all of them, but the running the quarterback to the sideline. It's what do you prefer? Do you prefer screaming? Do you prefer signaling? Do you prefer having like a Gus Malzahn when he was in high school? A board with a color and the numbers, and then you look at it on your wristband. Whatever it is, Teach your players your way and then keep it that way. Don't make the mistake I did when I was first starting out. I would jump from signals to wristband to numbers and back and forth, and the kids were getting confused. Don't do that. Just pick a way, become the master of that way. Did I miss the new install method? Fire. Yes, you did. It was in earlier, the replay. Go back. I talk about it. It was fire. I asked rugby coaches to come to my practice. That's good. Heath could probably help you out. He's a rugby guy. Elixir, yes, also with the method. I talked about that earlier in the showcast. Paydirt, agree. Soccer is a great alternative for youngsters. Foot coordination, spacing, and depth perception are some of the great things soccer offers for kiddos. I completely agree. Coach Lance, if you look at Europe, when it comes to soccer, they have their kids tackling, competing for headers. When it comes to wrestling, we don't question kids banging each other. I'm going to be honest. I haven't seen 6, 7, and 8-year-olds doing headers and tackling each other and everything like that. So I feel as if I am not the expert on it. I can talk about my experience in soccer. It was aggressive. I wasn't heading. Now, again, this is America back in the freaking early 90s. We weren't soccer gurus like you folks over in Europe, but that's just what we did. Could be wrong. Who knows? Who the fuck am I? I'm just a football coach that's talking about this. That is how I became a defensive end, because Coach Larry, this was before the good team, had his son at quarterback and the other coaches had their kids at running back, and it was stupid that, yeah, that's what, yeah. Holy crap at that camera. Yeah, Gary. Yeah, man. Looks nice, doesn't it? Finally upgraded. Got to go, coach. Have a good night and a great scream. I can't talk. Stream. Thank you. And again, guys, every Tuesday, I'm going to start doing this, 9 o'clock. Either I'm going to have somebody on to talk ball, or I'm going to talk about what we're doing on football. I'm going to talk about what's going on, stuff like that. We're going to have a live stream every Tuesday. I freaking love it. Pay Dirt, use the All-Star game as an opportunity to try new schemes. You want to implement your own program for the upcoming season. I like that. Still time, baby. Still time. Well, coaches, thank you so much for being here. Again, check it out, man. Planning the perfect practice, footballfreedom.com. I just want to show you also, I'm still getting blown up right here. Still getting blown up. Look at this. Said like a true soccer sympathizer. I'm getting my shit tore up on social media, but I stand by what I say. I stand by it. I stand by it. Now, coaches, thank you so much for being here. I love each and every one of you. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. And if also, if you haven't, follow me on Twitter, man. Okay? And until next time, let's continue to master the spread, score points, and have some fun. Emphasis on the fun. I will see y'all later.